Okay. Hi, I'm Rob Shaw with Military Athlete, and I want to talk to you today about my programming theory as it pertains to two things. The first is this idea of the burden of constant fitness for military tactical athletes, and the second is the way I periodize the cycles that we do in something I call fluid periodization. First, I want to talk about just the fitness attributes of a military athlete or a tactical athlete. You need high relative strength. Relative strength is strength per body weight, not necessarily max effort strength. High work capacity for short, intense events like sprinting, lifting somebody off or picking somebody up and carrying them. A short, relatively short but high, very intense event is a work capacity event. Stamina for long events like a long ruck, and then a hit at the end of a long ruck, and then an egress out. That's a long event. Or multiple events over a long day. For example, reviewing multiple missions over this a long 24-hour period. Each mission is short, but several will start to add up. That's stamina. And then you need mental fitness. We believe that mental fitness is a fitness attribute that you can use it or lose it if you don't use it. So we use some gym events to help train and keep your mental fitness sharp. And then finally, durability for a long career. One of the things, if you take a look at this list, what's interesting about this list is how varied it is. It's not like an endurance athlete who just needs endurance in one mode, or for a triathlete, maybe 3 different modes. Or a strength athlete like an Olympic weightlifter or powerlifter who only have to be strong. A military athlete, you have a whole bunch of different fitness attributes that you have to cover. The challenge from a programming perspective, from my perspective, is how you work all these together. And what I've developed is the way I do it is what I call fluid periodization. And here's the way I explain it. Let's say this is just a pitcher of water, and we're pouring it into a cup here. And this cup is the athlete, or a glass is the athlete. And what we're pouring into the athlete is fitness. This is training. That's what's in the pitcher, and we're pouring fitness into the athlete. And if you can imagine, when the water hits the bottom of the cup, it kind of splashes up like this. Each one of these rises is a cycle for me. Fluid periodization, to define it, is training strength, work capacity, and stamina simultaneously or at the same time, but with cyclic emphasis. Here, each one of these peaks is a different cycle. So this is a strength cycle, this is a work capacity cycle, this is a stamina. And as we go over the time under the base fitness model, we're going to keep on rotating through these cycles. Strength, work capacity, stamina, all the way up. As we keep pouring this fitness into pouring training into the athlete's fitness increases. So I'll bring my assistant coach in here and I'll kind of describe this to you. So I'll need your right hand there, Jordan. So here we start down here with the athlete. In the first cycle, we're going to go ahead and we're going to make it a strength cycle. So we're going to train strength. We're going to emphasize strength during the cycle. We're still going to train work capacity. This is stamina. We're still going to train both those. We're going to emphasize strength. The next cycle, we're going to emphasize work capacity. We're going to maintain strength. We're going to emphasize work capacity. We're going to maintain stamina. The next cycle is a stamina cycle. We're going to maintain strength. We're going to maintain work capacity. We're going to emphasize stamina. So you can see how this kind of builds up. We want to increase the overall fitness of the military athlete, of the athlete. Thanks. That's just from a fitness perspective. One of the ways that we found this really helps military athletes is it helps address what I call the burden of constant fitness. I learned this term from Lieutenant Colonel Green Beret, and he explained to me that as a military athlete, you can never really afford to be out of shape. What that means is you got to be training all the time. The challenge is to keep it from getting bored, to keep yourself from getting bored, and to keep your training from becoming stale. What we found is not only does fluid periodization help increase the overall fitness of the athlete on the military side and help lead to these fitness attributes, all of them, but it also changes things up and gives us enough variety where it keeps us involved in the training. We have different cycle lengths for these, and we're experimenting with those cycle lengths, but anything from 2 weeks to 4 weeks with each of these cycles. But by training everything simultaneously but with cycle emphasis, we're able to keep on increasing the kind of the hybrid fitness of the military athlete, and then the variety of the different cycles that we get in helps keep you engaged mentally because you have to burn a constant fitness.